Alright. So, everything seems like it's working. In that case, let me just cut the audio from the OST because, unfortunately, this game has committed one of the cardinal sins of muting itself whenever it's not in focus. Every streamer's worst nightmare. Yeah, load no P quantities. But I actually get ads on YouTube unlike Twitch. Yeah? Well, there's this great browser. There's this great browser. I recommend it. It's called Firefox. It lets you continue using ad blockers even though Google is trying to suppress them. Would recommend. Because, even though the fact that I technically get paid from the ads, fuck it, use an ad blocker. Jesus Christ, the internet's an unusable hellhole these days. Holy shit. It's not okay. At any rate, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Iron Nest. Ooh, that was nice and loud. We'll drop the master volume for a bit. Probably also going to drop the music volume preemptively at 25. It's usually about where things go. We'll see. The audio balancing this game I expect to be all over the place, and that's kind of an advertisement. So we'll see. But on the other hand, it's still probably going to require some work. So, welcome to Iron Nest, everyone. And also hello once again, YouTube. I finally figured out how to get multi-streaming working in a not terrible manner, so... But yeah, this is a... What is the term for this one? Diesel punk? I think. A game in which we will be put in command of a giant mechanized crawler thing. I think we've got 4 legs. You'll get to see it at some point, I'm sure. Well, definitely from the inside. That is... Honestly, I have no idea what the caliber of the guns are. But from what I remember from playing the demo like a month ago or whatever, the craters are like a kilometer across. So, how we do that without nukes is a good question. But, yeah, Spain. So this is, I believe, an alternative 1928 Spanish Civil War between the Republicans and the monarchists.
Appreciated.
This game's great. Glory to Castile. I'm sure it'll commit absolutely 0 war crimes. Yes. So our first mission is simply calibration fire. Iron Nest has been commissioned. Pre-operational ranging is required before active deployment. A target has been designated by High Command for calibration purposes. Confirmation of fire accuracy is the sole objective. Viva King Gale. King, this is Spain, so we know the king is named Carlos. Carlos, probably the 18th. It's as inevitable as every French king being named Louis. Every now and again they might spice it up with an Alfonso, but that's really about it. Alright, and welcome to the Iron Nest. Yep, here's our map. A gas mask in case we need it. An all timeline. And we have 7 steps. Read, measure, calculate, load, rotate, elevate, and fire. Alright. Steam direct. What? Oh yeah, right. Also, I should say that. We're just preparing your ears. I just want to point out here that the first time I actually fire this gun, expect to go deaf, everyone, right? I'm gonna let the warning to let everyone know to take their headphones off a little bit, because I have no idea at what level this is gonna come through at. And it's going to probably be a fucking nightmare. For the first shot. You know, I'm gonna have to calibrate the audio settings. Alright. Caps lock, so that's open. Okay, maybe still a little too loud. I do actually appreciate there just being a audio controller for the music right here. Just wake everyone in the neighborhood up instead, yeah, right? Tune in true environment sound. Alright. Iron Nested operational calibration fire is ordered. Plot your firing trajectory to target on map. Fire HE shell. Alright. We are located HE55. Target is Q442. Glory to Castile. Alright, so we're given a map of our current operational zone. This is our setup here for, LEAP, HEAP, HCHE, and EQKE. What is it? What are these? Earthquake kinetic energy shells? Given how large of a thing this is, yes, quite possibly. Do we really have to aim it? I mean, yeah. We have to aim well enough, anyway. But, you know, FLCH shells, whatever the fuck those are, can delete an entire grid square. Excellent. So we are using HE shells and HPAE shells. Alright. Nice. I don't think we actually need that since this is just a calibration fire. Alright. Should be easy enough. So we are at grid square H355. Plotting to there. So we're looking at 84. Bearing distance 85.5 degrees at 8.94 kilometers into what appears to be the middle of a town. Well, you know what they say, glory to Castile. No, that part's locked yet. Okay. Now you can click on lines in the briefing book on your clipboard. Yep. I don't think I actually needed to today, but if I need to, I can take notes that way. And I think I can erase with right click on them. I did play the demo, so I'm at least a little bit familiar with some of this stuff. But it's also been a month. I've spent the last 2 weeks incredibly sleep deprived. So, you know, I barely remember yesterday, let alone a month ago, you know? Is this also MP? Up to 5 players, I believe? Yes. Beware of rounding errors of 0.5 degrees, yeah. Thank you, TI, yeah. Okay, look. Big gun. Yeah. So, these are the size of the shells. I admit here, I don't know if the game has yet ever mentioned what the caliber of this thing is, but we'll go with big fucking gun. You know, this is a BFG class weapon for sure. At any rate, where were we? So yeah, we've now measured. We have to go to the calculator, which, yeah, okay. Select 2 powder charges. Okay. That's just locked, I guess. Distance to target. And this explicitly told me select 2 power charges. In theory, I could, do more, and it would just spit out a different elevation calculation. But typically, I think the only reason to do that is if you have a moving target. Like, otherwise, you, generally speaking, will want to use the minimum required power charges. Like, if, I don't know, say you had to shoot at a moving train, just hypothetically, it's not unreasonable to do 6 powder charges at a low elevation, so that way you have significantly less lead time because your shell will travel much faster. It's not a bad idea. In this case, we're not doing anything. Anyway, for good measure, the machine simply spits out a ticket. That tells me to... There's also, like, a second gun over here. I haven't figured anything out with that yet, though. Locked for loading. Okay. So, I need to load a shell. Alright, so lets me choose the shell type, I guess. Oh, we're using an HE shell. Bring him in this bad boy. There we can see powder charges. The haptic feedback on this game is astounding, by the way. Nice. Alright. Okay, so 53 degrees. This is what we start and set. And then I think that's the there. Yeah. Nice. It is so satisfying that you can just aim this, you can tell a lot of the development was just kind of spent on making this incredibly satisfying to work. Alright, so 53.64 degrees up. And then I didn't get a bearing output, did I? From this thing? For whatever reason. I have the bearing down there, so it just seems weird that it's empty on my ticket. But whatever. So, is this... Alright. The gears plank down there. Nice. Whole goddamn turret is rotating. Okay, yeah, no, that's actually super good. So I can tell if it's in the brake position or all that. Ooh, that overshot a lot. Perfect. Alright, 85.5 degrees. Okay, well, just double check the line items here. All right, we've loaded, rotated, elevated, and now we're ready for firing. Okay. Hey, so remember how I said everyone with headphones, I recommend at the bare minimum doing this, because I have no idea just how loud this is going to come through. From here I'll try and calibrate the audio settings, but arm? Or no? Fire mission confirmed. Shell type confirmed. Bearing confirmed. Elevation confirmed. And then this gun arm. So, a little bit on the calculation for bearing. I don't know if it's the first mission though. Alright. Like I said, everyone ready. Honestly, not that bad. I was expecting that to be louder, given the settings, but thankfully I turned it down enough. Also, we have a pet cat. I'm sure that will not cause us any problems during our, artillery calculations. You can, I believe, pet the kitty, cuddle the kitty, and more. Alright. Oh, tight. There we go. I think when we sustain damage, or maybe just when we fire the gun the first time, like, various valves or whatever just start shooting steam everywhere. Oh, shoot, no. And, that's basically our health meter, I think, is basically how much steam is being shot out of all the valves. And we have to close valves to do repairs. Press F to pick a pastor. We can, in fact, cuddle the kitty. Put the clipboard away. Yeah. Who's a good kitty? You go lay on the bed for a bit. I'm surprised they're freaking out. Alright. Okay, my line. Commission confirmed. Marinus, combat ready. Stand by for operational orders. Orders located below. Retire to your bunk and stand down for the night. Glory to Castile. And this is what? Yeah. Field reports. Friendly hospital destroyed. Minus 10 requisition. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Priority target. Target destroyed. 25 requisitions. Yeah, so we were given a map view here. So, we may have hit a hospital, slightly. I almost wonder if you, like, specifically were to overshoot just enough if you could clip the main target without killing the hospital, and if that would change anything. But, like, you know, just for good measure, the game's just like, yeah. Congratulations on completing the tutorial. You've committed your first work round. The most unrealistic part of this game is that the cat is perfectly fine with that noise. You know? Bounding recruits. Yeah, they're the people who like kickstarted this game are all over the walls, I think. So, here's the main menu. If I ever want to go back to that. The cat has to be deaf. It does. But yeah. Who names the cat after the King in Yellow? Well, you know, it's better than naming it after Lovecraft's cat. Monstrous strike on Mercy Ward. Anti-monarchists detonated a bomb in the hospital's entry courtyard, murdering 163 and maiming over 300 citizens. A brutal atrocity meant to shatter the very heart of Castile. The attack occurred during visiting hours, which has been described by the king as particularly unsporting. The powder charge has increased the blast radius, I believe. That seems like that's incorrect. That definitely should not be correct. Because the powder charges detonate in the barrel to launch the shell. And also on the blast radius calculator I have, I only have settings for the shell type and not the powder charges. So that I have two pieces of evidence: one, my own understanding of firearms, and two, the in-game tool that suggests to me that's incorrect, Assassin. Radius is only shell dependent. Yep. Alright. And now people on Twitch chat confirm. That's what I would figure. Alright. Punch cards unlocked. A shell and star shell. Alright. Nice. Alright. Fire and light. Intelligence has identified an anti-monarchist element operating within the city. Again, should we be firing this weapon in a city? Very well. Don't like me here, I'm just following orders, right? Uh, Separately, High Command has scheduled a celebratory illumination over the Royal Palace to mark the General's Peace Initiative. Iron Nest has been assigned to both operations. Losing increased kinetic energy, would that big of effect and increase in radius much? Well, yeah, given I'm pretty sure the crater comes from the HE part of the shell. Because I can double check on my tool here. This is armor piercing shell. So like this is roughly how much you get from kinetic energy. This is roughly how much you get from the explosives. I believe this is high capacity HE, and I don't know what AQKE is. I'm calling them earthquake shells for now. And what the fuck a fulches? Who knows? You know? Alright. Triangulation. I can do that. That's fine. I don't need a tutorial on triangulation. At least probably don't. So I have spotter at N10. Do I use these for the spotters? N10 02. Oh no, sorry. That's right. No, N10 31. Here. Okay, that's the little spotters. And 0266. 0266. Alright. I guess we can use yellow for this. Alright. And what are my reports from the spotters? Or... 102 and 38. Okay. So bearing is 102 degrees. And bearing is 038. Alright, we've got our target. So we draw a line from here to here. Perfect. Alright, 66 degrees and 13.07 kilometers. Perfect. Alright. That boy around. For this we need a minimum of 3 powder charges. Calculate a gun elevation, please. 52 degrees. First I have to load HE shell. This one. Calculated powder charges. Alright. Alright. So 52. There. Probably close that. And gonna try and learn to do this faster. You know? Because in theory, we're eventually going to start being in, like, combat shit. With potential counterfire from enemy artillery batteries. So we'll call that a drill. A combat drill. So explain sharp line tired of grid square. Alright. Yep. That looks like a target destroyed. Reconnaissance photos transmitted. 2 additional hostile elements have been identified in the recon photos. Tread both before proceeding. Alright. Cool. It's no longer needed. Honestly, this is all no longer needed. Clear that. So since I have recon photos, I can just kind of do this. Alright. 68 and 13.03. This should be an easy adjustment to make. Should only just be a minor effect. Hey, you know what? I'm going to leave that and see what happens. Two. The shutter is closed. Go over here. Ah, yes. More patience. That's gonna take 8 years to open, isn't it? Yeah. There we are. Anyway. Where was I? So, BP2.12. Alright, I think we're good to go. Yeet! Walks into the shell tracker. Are we killing civilian rioters? Yes. Civ riot. Enemy. Fire director. Pauses the CBT. Well, you know me. Never want to pause the CBT. Oh. That's 2 more casualties confirmed. Look, the war crimes aside, how much money does it cost to fire this thing? Or is this one of those, you know, it's not about the money, it's about sending a message kind of things? Because I feel like there's got to be more cost-effective ways to deal with some rioters. You know? Ammo's the cheap part. No, I don't think it is. You know, I do not think it is. Have you looked at the ammunition Also, we only have up to, what, like 6 shells in a clip here? Does this count as a clip? I'm not actually quite sure. Anyway, where were we? High Command Iron Nest. Targets destroyed. Phase 1 complete. A second fire mission is now authorized. Orders a starburst over the Royal Palace. Star shell only. It's a non-combat operation. Find the vicinity of the coordinates below. A ground observer will mark the corrections directly on impact recon photos. Adjust and repeat fire until High Command confirms satisfied burst position. Okay. Approximate illumination coordinates. 249 at 613 from spotter 1. Alright. You can write on the shells, by the way. Oh shit. Nice. Real fucking mature. Called a revolver, and those look to be in diameter to me. Yeah. Alright. At any rate, what the hell am I actually firing this at? Let's clear out everything else. 249. Oh yeah, we'll use yellow for spotter, I guess. I don't know what I would need a third one. White. Okay, this seems wrong. I have a feeling this is supposed to be a tutorial about how to do corrections. Right? But what if? Hear me out. What if instead I just fire it roughly over where I'm assuming this is probably the palace, so. You know. Short range this thing seems to be. I mean, we're firing at like half powder charges here. Like, I'm pretty sure we could probably go a lot farther, you know, firing at 6 powder charges. 249, not, yeah, 249. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but hold on, let me try this again. Still definitely wrong. So instead, I'm just going to shoot this. Because I'm kind of curious to find out exactly what's going to happen if I add my own layer of interpretation. Because ultimately, I am going to be fed intelligence, and sometimes it's going to be right, other times it's going to be probably not so right. You know? And so, inference is going to be required at some points. I'm going to practice some inference here and see how accurate I can be. Oh yeah. Less that to the left. Bearing is 329. Turret elevation. $56.04. All right. Arm gun. So yeah. 10-kilometer range, yeah? Oh, okay, so that's the actual target there. So what's this? Let's see. Alright, so it's just kind of giving me, like, by the looks of it, rough direction to target. Very well. So, in this case, I guess I just redraw a line to the actual target. Clear those. And, next one. Shouldn't be too much different, so. Oh, gun elevation, not enough charges. Oh my god. I love that, like, an actual mechanical calculator is just spinning infinitely. Jesus fuck, you want what? I guess if I, heaven forbid I go over 5 kilometers, we drop a lot of gun angle here. Alright, bearing is 326. Alright. That should be good. Whatever message you get from the Palisade AG. Question. Well, I fucked that up. Only loaded one charge. Ah. You're correct about that. I did, in fact, only load one charge. Because I preemptively assumed that would be fine. And then completely ignored what my calculator spat out, and then load the second charge. To be fair, I did just improperly believe that I could use one charge for 5.7 kilometers. I might only get like 5 kilometers of range per charge though. So we'll see. So whoopsie doodles. The trigger's turned to the previous setting, right? Kind of a thing where like I'm kind of actively trying to train for combat ops in the sense of doing this because like I said, this is the easy time. Send it right down range. So like I am gonna try and learn to operate things quickly. Position confirmed satisfactory. Fire mission complete. Stand down until further orders. Glory to Castile. I guess extra fun when you're trying to do two at once. Yeah, exactly my point. We're like, I should start practicing, more reactive work now. Oh, God, you reversed your measurements. Yeah, I imagine that. Ooh, a record. BRB is stuck, though. I'm back. Clear, clear, clear. I don't know if everything is going to get cleared between my missions, but, something, hygienics. Yeah, whatever. We'll find out if that gets cleared. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was so confused because at first I'm like, hold on, wasn't the bed like across from here when I first came down here? But no, it actually makes sense that, right, because the turret up there is turning, so this actually turns around. Yeah. can also customize the cat down there. Well, I was going to try and pick up a record, but that didn't work. A night of celebration, marred by atrocity. General affirms commitment to peace. His Majesty the King has entrusted me with a sacred mission, the General stated. The peaceful unification of the Iberian people through reconciliation. It is a mission I do not abandon lightly. When pressed as to what he meant by lightly, the General did not elaborate. Lost. Small apartment. Last seen in tank before Tuesday evening. Reward offered for unuseful bricks. Bread price is stable, except where explosive. The Ministry of Supply reassured citizens that grain reserves remain ample following reports of bakery detonations in several towns. Officials attribute blasts to overly patriotic East and praise bakers for pushing fermentation to new horizons. Consumers are advised to chew confidently and keep distance from the ovens. Wanted witnesses to nothing unusual. Good memory and steady nerves required. Official statements prepared for you. Services. Cellar deepening and reinforcement. Stable longer, safer and quieter. Hindenburg celebrates 100th crossing. For sale home. Some reassembly required. Inventor claims to have just trapped lightning in a jar. Senor Delgado of Zaragoza claims success in capturing infinite electricity within reinforced glass vessels. The Ministry of Fraud Prevention is shocked by the claim. Ah, yes, very good. Very good. The German Empire's airship Hindenburg completed its 100th transatlantic voyage this week, gliding triumphantly into New York with all engines humming and a brass band forming mid-flight. Officials called it proof of hydrogen is both safe and sociable. A commemorative dinner was held mid-air, though several diners briefly levitated during dessert. Alright. On an evening set aside to honor the General's continued pursuit of peace, the anti-monarchists remind us all that no such pursuit concerns them. Their only correspondence arrives written in the blood of innocence. For 3 years, the General has extended every olive branch available to him, and the 3 years British rebels, have returned the branches aflame. As His Majesty the King honored the General's dedication to peace with a medal, the anti-monarchists desecrated the ceremony with artillery fire upon a civilian quarter. Yep. One wonders when the General's patience will find its limit. Nice. Liberation. I think this is our first combat mission. Anti-monarchist forces have maintained an occupation of Ciudad Real. High Command has ordered the city restored to the Crown. Iron Nest has been repositioned to support the operation. Requisition procurement is authorized to meet operational requirements. Ah, yes, we're walking right now. That. What? Ah, I actually hopped up on you. I'm not actually sure I knew there was a jump button before. Oh, there's also crouch. What the hell is this? Oh. Okay. I don't know, this thing's still typing out my orders, so. High Command Iron Nest is to be cleared out of hostile elements. 5 hostile infantries within the designated urban sector. Okay, you know what? This is actually a half-decent, reasonable combat op, then. If we're talking about enemies in a fortified city center of some sort. Ah, yes. The enemy city, I assume, is just marked in red. Oh, we're not on the table yet. Oh yeah, because I can now move, can't I? I don't think I'm gonna move until somebody starts shooting at me. Initial field intelligence. Okay. Repositioning complete. Alright. I need to get some shit together. Okay. So I am at I6. I want to read that as 16, but I'm going to assume that's an I6, and then a 5 and a 3. Okay. Spotter 1, H9, 5, 1. Got it. The stuff is the opposite of how I expect it to be, so it's throwing me through a bit of a loop until my brain recalibrates. So 9, 8. D1, 4, 6. J498. Yep. I just want to double check all the spotter locations is correct. 1, yep. Yep, okay. Always good to double check your homework, you know. Oh, whoops, no, hold on. Okay, got all that in. Play that. What in the hell march is this? Or hold on. And can I? Because I want to be able to draw multiple lines. So I'm not getting distance, so I need to do just distance. 229. And then spotter 2 gives me 270, so dead east. Two, 7, 4. How do I want to organize this? Okay. I think the answer is I do it this way and then clear those. Because I don't want multiple overlaps. Because I have to assume I'm going to be doing this later under pressure. So I kind of have to develop my internal way of doing things now in a way that will not lead to me fucking up massively later, right? So I definitely don't want to leave a bunch of yellow crisscross lines and just assume I'm going to remember everything correctly, because that's a terrible idea. Salut. $319. Oh my fucking god. I didn't bring the damn thing out enough. And then, okay, so we have to do triangulation from circle. Or it's not triangulation, but you know, for this one, right? So this is going to be 7.55 kilometers from you. That's not right. Try that again. Okay. And then 616 from spotter 1. We do not question, we calibrate. Okay, So that gives me two possible coordinates. Once again, using that inference skill of mine, that is going to be the target. Okay. That gives me 3 targets. Alright. Let's start calculating. Now, the question is how I want to actually do this. Because if I'm basically trying to create protocols in my head for later. Oh, very good. Yeah, that is a shell type, isn't it? ATMC shells. That. I guess it's still a shell. You do have placeable enemy tokens. That actually might be a good idea. Atomic? Yeah. That would be my assumption. Drill. Yeah, I swear to God, this is going to be an earthquake shell. There's no fucking way. Like, it should be on HE. Of course, I think I'm actually out of shells. So there's this requisition table over here, right? 20 powder charges, HE shell. Oh, star shells are cheap. No. Left magazine, yeah, we don't have a Atomic? Yes, sir. Technically that's spoilers, but, you know. Alright, so... Yep, alright, so we've got our HE shells. AP shells, scout planes for flyovers. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense. Okay. So then I can do bearing to target here. Oh, this is... I see, yeah. So I'm actually already ahead of this. Okay, it's going to be enemy infantry. I was kind of questioning this before. About how it's... But, like, if I do it like this... It's going to spit tickets. So this way I can say, spit out 3 tickets with 3 firing solutions. Oh, sorry, there was a trailer of that shell? Fair enough. There's a reason I said technically spoilers. Not everyone has any idea what the flying fuck is going on here. You know? I didn't even watch that trailer. Like I say, it's, it pretty much shows there's going to be atomic shells, but, you know. So then I can do 2, 6, 4... dot 3. Because in theory, again, I'm going to operate under the assumption that at some point, the enemy is going to start shooting back at me. So... a logical assumption would say that I have to fire a shell first before that starts occurring. So having a bunch of pre-calc shit is either a really good idea or a really bad idea, depending on if I plan to counterfire or run away. You know? Because in theory, it's moderately easy to simply deal with enemy counterfire by moving. You know? Shoot and scoot. Alright, anyway, where was I? Oh, I should play the demo. That was fun, yeah. Seven. Click. All right. Yeah, this is the correct order to do it in. Okay. Mentally, I just had to note, like, the gun height and bearing of everything. Something's definitely wrong. There's at least a few things wrong here. There's gotta be. The last one's wrong. Yep. It's a good thing I double check my numbers. You know? I'm gonna throw out this ticket. But unfortunately I can't be 100% certain that one's... Well, no, actually I can by generating this ticket again. That should be correct. There's also at least one other issue, which is that I fucking was off by a degree. Spit me out another ticket. Alright, that's better. This, I mean, honestly, most of the effort is that rather than adjusting the turret bearing. We should close this. Just an accident waiting to happen. Anyway, where was I? Very powder turrets. Only degree. How far can it possibly miss? That's 7 kilometers? $300 meters? Probably? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had to do that math. At any rate, where the hell was I? I mean, there's 2 save blocks that go wrong. To be fair, given the caliber of the shells we're firing, not much. That's still going to be target impact, I'm pretty sure, you know? I'm pretty sure we get a pretty solid margin of error on this. I don't know, I'm still in relaxed mode. Like I said, I'm not going to enter, like, rushed combat mode until I have, until I fire my first shot. This is actually the first combat mission, so... Five, 5, 9. Slow down a lot faster than I expected it to. Shot. I gotta get better at using this. Ooh, almost perfect. Okay. 654, verified, verified. 2 powder charges were used. Arm and send it. Theoretically, I have these enemy markers. Although, okay, those are for enemy artillery, which is probably useful. Well. Ah, yes. Okay, so there's some enemy infantry near a hospital there. That's going to require a bit more precision work. At any rate, enough with you, enough shell. Target so you can fire them more quickly. I have not yet used the right magazine yet. Like, in theory, yes. In practice, I still need more practice, you know? Like, I need to get my shit together firing one gun before I try and fire two guns like that. You're right. In that I should actually definitely be setting something up like that. In fact, in actuality, based on how all of this operates, my initial assumption is actually that I want to have an HE shell ready to go. I don't know. Depending on, like, things 2 or 3... HE shell, no. Because the correct answer is no matter what, if I want to use what I'm thinking here, 6 powder charges. I want to have an HE shell and 6 powder charges loaded into this at all times. And have it sitting at 45 degrees. And have that operate as a emergency counter battery fire gun. In the case anything so much as fucking shoots in my general direction. That seems like a logically sound thing to state right now. Because honestly, I am just firing at infantry, which, you know, obviously isn't really going to be doing a whole lot here. I have to turn the gun the right bearing. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, where was I? 45 degrees. That's not... Yeah, whatever. Yeah. 45, 42, 289. Unfortunately, one of the problems with having ADHD is I take a number into my head, and it just slowly deviates the longer I hold it there, you know? Like, the number in my head can easily deviate by a degree or two in the time it takes me to actually input into the firing calculator the result. You know? So, it's fine. Okay, guns armed. Fuck it, I just gotta learn to trust my shit. Guns loaded, yeah. Everything's fine, just fine. While the shell's traveling... Oh no, it doesn't have to come back, fair enough. Can't pre powder charges or anything. Oh, yeah, that was a lot of friendly fire, it looks like. Yeah, everyone's real fucking pissed at me. Nice. We took out a friendly civilian, a second friendly civilian, a friendly hospital, and one enemy infantry division. And this, kids, is why you gotta be careful with urban artillery. Especially stuff like this. Again, this is not a... I'm pretty sure even at the caliber shells are firing, this is not a tactical weapon. This is a strategic weapon. They may near parallel. Some measurements compound. Request additional intel solution seems uncertain. There are rebels hiding under that hospital. Ah, okay. Reset kill tokens. Nice. And delete all map measurements. Okay, so there's just a button for that. That's good. Reset marker tokens. Okay. Alright, anyway. So, send that itself. It's a good thing there's a lot of safety measures. Otherwise, I would totally load the gun backwards at some point and put powder charges in before the shell. Which would not be particularly good, you know? I guess actually maybe the counter battery. If I have a max of 60 degrees, counter battery should sit at 30. The 45 for distance. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. 51. 6. Check. 264.3. Check. Send it. Alright. I'm definitely killing whatever the hell this is. Police force, maybe? I have a guide here. Underground, at your reference point. High priority. Structure. Hold on. Alright. No, apparently I was clean, just barely though. Alright, so it's time to use this. Let's get a little closer. So I've killed 3. I'm not given any additional intelligence, but like the reconnaissance from the shots I've taken has like informed me of where there's additional enemy forces. So yeah, knocking this out without killing the hospital will require this. All right, clear the tickets. Clear bearings because I've used all those. Clear the fired lines. All right. Clear all those. Oh, no. Real tight down. All right. Bearing 261 at 5.25 kilometers. Precise one. Alright. That was pretty handy. I think that's supposed to be recon flights. Because I guess we have air superiority. Calculate. Powder charges. Powder charges. Alright. So, at no point would I ever have any reason Alright. I'm just trying to think. But 30 degrees seems to be basically the minimum. Although I guess that's minimum if I'm using 2 powder charge. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of what the use case of, 45 to 60 degrees is. I don't come up with one. Two. Oh. We're good. Arm and... Alright, let's see if I can not kill the hospital. This was a fucking trap. Successfully missed the hospital. Alright. Yeah, I have apparently just clean shot at that, so that's good. That Gale stream on my YouTube? More likely than you think. Yeah, I finally got some more multi-streaming stuff working, so that way I can actually do this. I've been working on it in the background, slowly. There's not really any point to doing this, is there? Unless I need to store multiple. Like for individual ones. Oh dear. I'm out of ammo. Powder charge appropriate on those. Okay, so this is the gun lights. For what step I'm on, in case I ever lose that. Fair enough. Slowly figuring out the order of operations. Like for example, while this thing is even coming up to an acceptable level is when I need to be doing this. You know? 6, 9, 8, and send it. Probably a civilian or some shit right here, though. I should have, shot the clean zone where I know it would have been fine. believe that's mission objective complete, right? Hit it with AP. Needs that ammo bunker. Priority, conduct a recon flight over grid P4, confirm position, then neutralize the AP ordnance. Okay, so there's scout plane. But hear me out. One or the other HE shell. Actually I don't. But here's what I'm thinking here. Don't get me wrong, a scout plane can be useful, but it costs 60, I think, for a requisition. So that's 30 star shells. With patience and star shells, which illuminate a target. Anyway, supposedly it'll be around P4. So what happens if I just fire a star shell, say, into the middle of this? A recon flight grid. Over P4 then neutralize, yeah. Okay. So what if I just do this? Phosgene? One thing I would really like from the control scheme of this game is the ability to scroll my wheel on these to do things rather than having to do clicking and dragging. Cyanide gas. Yeah. When do enemy can fire at? You'll see why scout planes are useful when do enemy can fire. Are you having a stroke? Because that's not a sentence. If you're suggesting that the enemy fires back at me and that's when it'll be useful, I would in fact concur with you, though. That would be a very reasonable time to actually. Wonder is firing. But as far as I know, this is an ammo bunker. Pretty confident. You know, I did not actually pay attention to all that much. 717. That's 2 powder charges. I'll be fine. Bearing 104. But yeah, ammo bunkers I'm pretty sure don't fire back at you, so should be fine. Yeah, I could tell. It's fine. Almost. 104.8. Alright. But yeah, my assumption is that it's, probably a lot better to use a scout plane because I don't have to calculate a firing solution for a scout plane. And thus I can use it a lot quicker. That too. AP shell, arm piercing shell, minimal bursting charge, minimal blast radius. Honestly, given how precise I'm firing things, I almost wonder if it would be better to be using AP shells to like reduce the splash damage. Because, I kind of got absolutely fucked on this, whereas I probably wouldn't have if I'd used an AP shell. There's definitely a thought I have about what my default ammo type is going to be. Here's the thing. Realistically, am I going to make tiny fuck-ups? The answer is actually probably not that much. Any fuck-up I make is going to be pretty messy. By my rough calculation. Like, generally, that's how it works. I'm either on target or I just hallucinated a number. And I'm not even going to hit the general area. Sector cleared. Local garrison will consolidate from this point. Stand down until further orders. Huzzah! Alright. Yeah. Nice. We did, I think, alright today. Here's cat customization. Alright. Back arch. Back up. Ah, yes. Do we not have the cat in yellow? Disappointing. We'll go with the tux. Oh my god, we could put a general hat on it. I love it. He's very dignified. Excellent. Alright. Oh my god, you can make the etiquette. May have to look at that. The royal city reclaimed. The royal city is restored to the crown this morning as the general drives the anti-monarchist occupation forces from its streets. The city, His Majesty the King was pleased to learn, is almost majority intact. Yeah? That's not bad. Price, 1 centimo. Is centimo like a real term, or is that just... because that kind of feels like just a vaguely meme way of saying, like, cent in Spanish. You know? Oh, okay, I can zoom in. Yesterday's much-anticipated arrival of the King's inspection train caused surprise when the entire convoy rolled into Valencia station in reverse. The Ministry of Transport insisted on a demonstration of retrograde propulsion excellence and denies that the locomotive overshot the junction by several kilometers. Crowds cheered nonetheless, facing whichever direction seemed most loyal. We're definitely the good guys, yep. Craters are temporary. Castile is permanent. Walk around them proudly. For sale, window glass, half price. Bulk rates for repeat customers. Fits most surviving frames. Services. Crater filling and conversion. Turn that unsightly hole into a productive well or patriotic pond. This is fine. Official assessment of the current situation remains unchanged. Trust what you are told. What you see is unverified. We are the good guys, yep. Work through the whistling. Factory output must not falter due to minor atmospheric excursion. Yeah, production wins wars. Yeah, given the level we are subscribing to the superior firepower doctrine, yes. I don't want to know just how many factories it takes to supply one of my combat operations. But it's more than one. The Severa Autogyros delivered Ciudad Real. The General's Severa Autogyro artillery observation units have been credited for their decisive action in the liberation of Ciudad Real, marking what military observers are calling the first genuinely practical application of aircraft in warfare. A source in military intelligence described the aircraft as a significant advancement in the science of knowing where things are, and notes this provides a critical first step in blowing things up. Damn right it does. Alright, those who answer the call voluntarily will be remembered as heroes. The General encourages you to be remembered as a hero. For sale, one slightly used crater, ideal for pond, cellar, or conversations. Enforce the liberation for their own good. Punch cards unlocked. Incendiary shell. Chance to spread. I don't even want to know what the hell I'm going to be needing that. Alright. Skirmish. Chill. Uncontested front. Unidentified in the sector. High Command has authorized engagement at IR. Intermediate range? Fair enough. And counter battery. Enemy forces developed artillery across the river. In response to recent operations, this was anticipated. Iron Nest has been cleared for active engagement under direct fire conditions for the first time. See, this is where maybe I'll need a scout plane. I sure hope they're easy to use. Because I said, whatever, I'll figure it the fuck out, and skip the tutorial. You know? Because the scout planes looked expensive. Destroy the master power switch. Ooh, record. Further crossover in response to the activity is anticipated. Counter battery timer will commence when its first shell lands. Okay, so yeah, counter batteries are not operational yet. I got time to chill and do all my calculations. Alright, so this, I was right in my effort to practice this skill last time as well, because it was also a tutorial for what is to come. Where the fuck am I? Alright, I am at I6. Five, 30. Honestly, banger soundtrack though, gotta say. One of the things that worries me is I have 10 spotter tokens. That's a shitload of spotters. K5. M1 5. Alright. So, bearing 41 degrees. Two, 5, 1, 5. I hate you both. You're the worst spotters ever. Okay. Bearing calculated. Alright, God, I do love the soundtrack for this though. 115 degrees. Okay. 218. That felt unprecise to me. It's not the most precise work in combat situations, I'll take it, but like, you know. Alright, and then finally we have to do a distance calculation. Spotter 3 and 1. Well, it's spotter 3, so 4 clicks. 4 and 1. And then 7 kilometers from you. I have about a 0% chance of successfully inferring this, unfortunately. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to calculate multiple firing solutions. Assuming I do these in the correct order, that's all fine. One of the final two firing solutions will turn out to be correct. I don't know which one until I fire the first shell. So, I'm going to calc 2. So, let's see. Okay, the AP shells are 10. HE shells are also 10. Okay. All of it. Does this need a separate? No, okay. That just keeps resetting every time I see. Alright. Yeah, that should all be good. I think I am now reasonably well equipped. And for... yeah, in an emergency. Okay, I see. So I set a thing and a bearing. Okay. So I'm gonna have a scout plane car just ready to go in case of emergency, you know? But otherwise, I should be good. All targets are between 5 and 10 kilometers, so we'll be using 2 charges. I assume I do want to, like... Let's find out, actually. Okay. This might be just for my own records. I was wondering if, like, shell weight would affect things slightly, like if it would give me a slightly different angle out. But I assume this is actually just for the pre-planning. So we're going to be like, oh yeah, no, on this one I'm firing an HE shell. You know. Okay, so that's good. That's good to know that that's not a required thing. This one looks like it needs to go on. Oh, this is fine. I have the 4. So you can remember what to load, yeah. Alright, well, let's just keep going then. Finish my pre-calcs. Whether explicitly I do not want to do. Yeah, okay, 112.4. Okay, so that is the next one I want to do. Because I'm going to also be, like, putting them in the order I want to be firing them at. So. And then the third shell is going to be one of two. I don't know which one it'll be. Don't really any way to know yet. I suppose I could send a scout plane to find out, but, like, realistically, just prepping reflex fire seems far more reasonable. You know? Since I can get her down to 2 options. I think that's pretty solid. One of these two will be correct, the other one will be disposed of. The first one I want to shoot is 99.6, as that should hopefully illuminate at least one of these 2 targets with reconnaissance data. Now, we're dealing with counter battery fire today. Your iron net, while advancing, I fell into one of your footprints outside Ciudad Real and twisted my ankle. While I was trying to climb back out, a shell landed where my squad was standing. I am now the only one left, but I can still hear them. I don't know if I'll ever stop hearing them. Everyone keeps telling me I was lucky. My mother would have said it wasn't luck. She would have said God put that hole there to save me. But God didn't put that hole there. You did. I mean, obviously, I'm just God. Which, to be fair, have you seen this gun? I might as well be fucking God. 2 powder charges. 2 powder charges. Alright. So, we're going to try using both guns today. Since we are going to be counter... Oh shit, we have a link. Ah. Interesting. Okay. I don't want to do that, but, you know. Good to know. That might be useful. 43 to 37. Set bearing 99. Yeah. Let's keep our configurations going here. 37.8. Okay. Correct. Okay. So remember, we've been told counter battery fire will begin once the first shell lands. Ideally, I am going to have the second shell in the air before the first shell lands. That's an ideal, though. Alright. Well, apparently, I'm going to have roughly 28 seconds to adjust my configuration and fire. Okay. 112.4. alarm. Counter battery timer, 300 seconds. Well, that's actually a lot more generous than I originally expected. Are we ready to load? Come on. I have to self-check my friggin' map, too. If I need to get things started here. What have I got? Oh, Lord. Oh, no, that's really bad. Okay, well, the good news is I found it, but apparently my math was off. Okay. No one. No, that's close enough I can take the shot. I'll take it. I have 300 seconds. I'm okay. If I want to be adjusting slightly, I can go slightly more to the right. And that's okay. I will initiate a manual correction to 106. No, you know what? 107 on the mark should be acceptable. I'll keep 51.6. It'll just spin so nicely. I know, right? Oh, that's 51.61. Yep. Okay. It's gonna be the slightest manual adjustment. Throw all remaining data. Whatever the hell's... I'm assuming there might be a problem, so I'm just going to immediately start calculating. That's the smart thing to do. When you're under fire, you do not assume anything. I think literally my slight adjustment calculation just made it. The counter batteries are still firing. Oh shit, we've got another. Fuck. Okay. Honestly, I'm doing okay. I got time. Still 300 seconds for counter battery. Yeah, tender. And yeah, we only need 1068. No, wait. That is an incorrect bearing. Actual bearing is 92. God damn it. It's so hard to use. 92.7. Oh no. It'll still be on the fire computer. Give me another ticket, please. Apparently I'm an idiot. 46.68. This is actually great training. I fucked up so many things, and I'm correctly handling it. This is great, actually. That's tough to use precisely. 4, 6, 6, 8, 1, and 92.7. Clear. So now it looks like I did very well, actually. Yeah, we can remove that one. I am gonna assume this is an impact like an idiot, but you know. Glory to Castile. Alright, counter battery assets have been destroyed. Honestly, not bad, not bad. Okay, so. Got a little intel there, but not much. Alright. Now we do this the nice and easy way, okay? So I'm very proud of myself on that one because like I made a shitload of mistakes and handled it perfectly. There's kind of an acceptance that you have to have, which is under pressure you will just make mistakes. Ideally you will make very few mistakes, but you will always make mistakes. You will not play perfectly, you know? You will not enact it. So it's always very important that you identify and handle any mistake that comes up. And realistically, that tends to be what sort of separates, like, being able to play a tense game versus, you know, just fucking collapsing. It's fixing and handling the mistakes you make. So under pressure, I successfully handled my mistakes, which is what I want to see out of myself. Don't get me wrong, I made a shitload of mistakes there, way more than I should have. Like, that was, quite frankly, disgusting. My brain does not like this. I increased distance to target, and I got a higher number. .45 degrees should be the longest range, right? Why do I get more distance shooting at 60 degrees, potentially? Sorry, I just wanted to... 6 is the longest range for any amount of powder. Yeah. The reason I'm asking that is because, hold on. I admit, it's been a while since elementary school. But in terms of distance and firing arcs, 45 degrees should be the longest range you get. If you go from 45 up to 60, you should, in fact, lose range. Assuming my understanding of math is correct. I know, but the game puts it at 60. Okay. So this is the game taking liberties. I haven't forgotten how math works. And I'm suddenly thinking, like, is it something to do with the fact that it's like an aggressively launched projectile with a shitload of explosives? Maybe one of my parents never learned how to handle a mistake. Yeah, right? You ever met a parent who doesn't know how to handle a mistake? They're awful. Alright. Ooh, powder charges. Ah, as a general rule, I'm not even thinking too much about poundage charges. I'm just reading like distance and dividing by 5. So. Off, nice. Need more. I have to be careful when the numbers are together, close together, and like similar. I'm like, oh, did I make an error somewhere? No, I'm good. All right, and 96, 3. Okay. Operating grid square. So yeah, 4 hostile units remain. 25 kilometers, okay. So that was only 3 hostile units remaining. Alright, all numbers should be clear. Catismo. The shell is on target. I have no idea where that guy jumped to. What the fuck? Apparently I've discovered 2 additional... Oh, good lord. Alright, whatever. Emergency. Begin calculations immediately. Okay, I just need distances. Let's do the first one first. Eight, 8, 2. Yeah, I've got 500 seconds. I'll be alright. Just keep calm. Load shells. Start the timer. Ticker timer there. Alright. Oh wait, fuck. Right, wrong bearing. Okay. Alright, 121.7. Alright, so this one's going to 52 degrees. This one's going to 43 degrees. Four, 3, 1, 4. $52.92. We have 1217, so fire the right gun. Just bearing to 1241. Arm and fire left. Target eliminated. Battery timer has stopped. Alright. Secondary counter battery assets destroyed. 2 hostile units remain across the river. No further threats are anticipated. High command is confident. Yeah. Where across the river? Who the fuck knows? Not me. Alright, let's do this. See, I'm pretty sure I have a star shell somewhere. Just for any such case. I feel like before I fire any additional shells, it would behoove me to get some more shells at the ready. Because I have fired a lot of shells. Alright. Yeah, let's do that maybe. So now here's the thing I'm thinking, is I can actually start doing manual calculations, can't I? Because this is actually incredibly linear, isn't it? Like a hyperlinear relation. So this should be 50 55.96. Nope, I was completely off. Alright. I'll figure it out, I'm sure. But like each thing should just be 30 degrees. I think I may have done that running off of like 50 degrees difference or something. But you know, 5 kilometers, 30 degrees coverage, right? If it's a hyperlinear relation, just to check just exactly how linear it is, and if I'm crazy for trying this, or for even thinking of this. Okay, it is definitely a linear relation. Alright, so if I can figure out the things a little bit better, I might even be able to do very fast manual calculations, which, for counter battery fire, might be very important. Give me a sec. Alright. Oh, Lord. So, where were we? Okay. 5742. Okay. Bearing 796. Well. Two. Good. Yeah, that's the right kind of elevation. There's also like the possibility of this zone containing more hostiles, but tough to say. It does just kind of tell me across the river, so. Alright, we got 2 hostiles spotted. Perfect. Oh, 11 kilometers, is it? Alright. I wish there was a way to, like, disable this bearing. I don't want it. $360, yeah. That should probably inform me that it's not a valid bearing, if nothing else. Anyway, 1093. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so it's not as linear as I would have expected, switching between the powder charges. Because otherwise I should be very close to 30 degrees. 30, like just under 33, my assumption. Okay. Okay. Just double checking my numbers, but everything does seem to add up. Two. Spot on. Alright, 5148. 2 power charges. Bearing is E22, correct. For expediency's sake, you know, I'm loading this gun up anyway. They're not actual threats or anything, so I don't have to worry too much. Alrighty, 72 elevation confirmed. 3 powder charges loaded. A79 agreed. Fire. Hey, all hostile assets destroyed. Well executed. Sector is clear. Iron Nest is stand down. Alright. I should probably make sure my magazines are reasonably filled, you know? Before I proceed. That should load a magazine. We have 1 AP Starburst and 4 HEs. Sneak in. We have a AP and 2 HEs here, so. Okay, I can switch like that. You know what? I'll keep the two. I might need that for the next mission. Alright. Select the record for tomorrow, but for now, to bed. Castile's mechanized wonder. The Iron Nest, a shield, not a sword, the general insists. Described by international observers as the most formidable land-based weapons platform ever deployed in human history. The Iron Nest fired its guns in anger for the first time yesterday, forced into action by anti-monarchist aggression. I had not built it to use it, the general stated. I built it in the hopes that I would never have to. He then confirmed that the Iron Nest remains exclusively a preemptive self-defense measure, and did not take any further questions. General Va's Iron Nest project is exclusively a preemptive self-defense weapon. Foreign observers stunned by Iron Nest might. New era of warfare, the general declares, as the world scrambles to respond to the unveiling. World press reacts. Extraordinary. Alarming. What exactly is that? International correspondents have described the Iron Nest debut as terrifying, deeply unsettling, and not something we were prepared to see on a Tuesday. The French delegation has requested clarification. The British delegation has requested a brochure. His Majesty, the King, is said to have suggested that other delegations need not request a brochure, as the demonstration was, in his words, fairly self-explanatory. For sale, mystery meat. Freshly landed this morning. It comes pre-tenderized. Second-hand roof tiles. Scattered but recoverable. Bring your own ladder. Panic is contagious. Carriers will be quarantined. Windows are replaceable. Loyal citizens are not. Stand near the wall. Do not speculate. Unverified explanations cause instability. Instability helps the enemy. And yeah, we've already read those two. Alright. First reply. Silence the counter battery. Not bad. Accuracy was 90% because we did fire a requisitioning only the minimum necessary. Okay, so I guess I don't get a medal because I fucking bought a bunch of fucking ammo. Preparing for whatever comes next. Nice. Skirmish challenge. Counter battery timer. 3 enemy columns converge on the river crossing. Counter battery fire commences with the first shot. High command requires maximum kills before the position is silent. Iron Road. Valle de Muela sits astride the supply corridor High Command intends to sever ahead of the coming advance. The garrison there is expecting reinforcements by rail. Alright. That's the next actual mission, it looks like. This time we have to hit a moving target, I think. Alright. So I have 17 minutes, effectively. Okay. Iron Nest is at C298. Rail lines run straight, bearing 090 from main station. Main station J604. Okay, waypoint A is 6 kilometers from station. 10:06:50. Okay, that's going to be the first easy shot I've got. Oh, shit. Okay. Main station. Okay, so main station is the arrival point. That explains that. Okay. I've still got 4 more minutes before it reaches waypoint 1. I just need to start calculations. Okay. I am going to select 6 powder charges. Fuck. 25 degrees. Well, that's low. Still probably worth it to use 6 powder charges, though. Wait, what? I don't fucking keep my... Oh, God. Alright, fuck. Whatever. Just get me a goddamn shell. Blowing up the tracks probably does stop the train. But, you know what? Even if only just for the sake of it. I gotta say, if only just for the sake of it, I do want to land a direct hit, you know? Just for bragging rights, if nothing else. That. So the would escape. More fun anyway, yeah. Oh, this is a troop transport, so. Okay. Oh fuck, we're at 105. When is the arrival point? Okay, 0650. That shell has a travel time of 17 seconds. Firing time is 10:06:33. Double check my numbers. We're good. Arm the gun. That's fine. Put that down. I need to be able to focus, so no music. Because this one's a weird one, because I have to fire at a very specific time for interception. Operation ready. Alright, I'm gonna fire 1 second early. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Because it takes me some time to pull the lever, so. Yeah, now that's a fast traveling shell. Yep, that was pretty much straight on the fucking locomotive, wasn't it? Apparently, I should have waited slightly and fired slightly late. And I could have hit the whole train. Yeah. Yep, I command. Direct hit. Train crippled in single action. Well executed, operator. Destroy in detail any remaining train cars and disembark reinforcements. Train stopping. 5.99 kilometers from main station. So, I was right to fire a second early. Because it does take that moment anyway. So that was a correct last minute brain thing going, hey, hang on, this takes time to actually do a thing, doesn't it? Okay. Reset my kill tokens, please. That way I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Well, alright, either way. At least I'm no longer on a timer. So, where was I? Some patriotic music. And get to work. A lot of course. Oh shit. Okay. I now have HCH. High capacity explosive, thin walled, maximum burst charge, larger blast rates. Cool. So I've got that. Alright, nice. 3. Target 12.94. Gun elevation calculation is 51.6. Now I know not to request extra munitions in preparation for whatever the heck I'm walking into next time. Kind of cheap game. Real suggestion with that shell to land. It should have been pre-prepping another shot at waypoint 2. But I was pretty confident. This was only really a minor adjustment, so... Like, I did the 6 powder charges too, just to be safe. Because the shell arrival time is functional, depending on like how much I miss it by, is a function of how, like the shell's total travel time. So, I give myself a lot more leeway to be off my firing time. By giving the shell a lot faster of a travel time. Okay. Mechanized, an infantry, and a headquarters. Alright, well, we've got a couple of infantries to do, but like I said, there's no actual threat, so we can take our time. Delete all map measurements, please. Alright. Set the kill tokens. Let's get to work, shall we? Starting at 12.4. .66. .99. And 13.83. Alright. Seven, 5, 7. I almost fell into that trap. Seconds. 717. Okay. 717 twice, so I'll look into that. Alright. Yeah, the first and third one are in the same bearing, so I'll fire those. 3 powder charges. Alright, 49, 6. I wonder if that was actually something I did. Alright, 4960, bearing is 717. Check. Next one. Field report is good. I'm assuming the green light is good. Alright. Like, it seems like it tries to use the lights to tell me what's going on without me having to go through and actually read everything. So I'm gonna try a thing again and see if another thing pops from just specifically doing a thing. Like where I had spun this before this was done. Nope. Alright. 5196. Let's go. Alright, that's another one taken care of. Turkey. Alright, so next one is 3 powder charges. No. 757. Bring her up. Provides intel for artillery, adds time to CBT. Anyway, 5132. Yeah. This is wrong. 50.64. Okay. Give you. Reset. Infantry hold position, awaiting signal to commence the assault. 2 armor emplacements block their assault trajectory. Allied infantry cannot advance until they are destroyed. The armored emplacements require AP shells to destroy. Signal warhorn hanging to the left of the trigger console or to the back right of the map table. Caution, signaling before you have completed your task will result in mass casualties. Iron Nest. C298. Oh, well, I still have another shell I plan to fire anyway. So I'm just going to do that. Since it's, a high priority. Oops. And I've already calced it out, It'd be a shame to waste it. Take out the enemy HQ. I might just have orders to destroy that later. I don't know, but anything I spot, I should be trying to take out. All right, I'm gonna plot 2 measurements, 2 new trajectories. Pair of starboard shells. Priority target. Enemy commander destroyed. Plus 50 requisition. Oh, no. I have bearings or stuff here. Okay. Of course, I don't know where my fucking spotters are. I've been doing reflex fire for a little bit and direct intelligence. Six one. I-541. So, bearing 0. Okay. I know what to do. Wow, we're getting. Okay. I don't like that precision. I just want to confirm is bearing 009 from spotter 1. Yeah, okay. And then bearing 027. Oh, it's going to be in the fortification, or in the town zone, I guess. That makes sense. Okay. I'm just going to do both. That's fine. Bearing at 27. Get out our protractor. So the first one's going to be 3 kilometers from spotter 2. 3.6. Check. Four, 8. Alright. Assuming I've done all my math correctly. That puts our 2 objectives here and alright. It's going to be 2 powder charges. Oh. 782. And 71. All right. Better charges, please. Good. 4, 6, about 19. Almost perfect. I have not corrected my bearing. 40 degrees, go. Always good to do a double check for a 40 fire. That's such a reason. Good. Alright. Oh wait, I need to use AP shells, don't I? Ah shit. Oh well. Ineffective. Ah, that's fine. I don't actually change anything. So used to firing the HE shells. I'd like to consider other ammo types for a moment. Probably should not arm the gun while we're still but you know. Rotations at 40.8 and 46.92. Perfect. Alright. Just bearing towards 60. Shot. Back yet? Confirmed. Target 1 eliminated. I could try and eliminate those two infantry at the same time. Shell. Bearing to 42.72. Arm. Alright. Apparently a second enemy thing there. walking anyway, kitty. Alright. Prior target main station destroyed. Nice. Blowing up the main station is very good. Alright. There is like one more priority target here. I feel like I should knock it out. I get points for it. And after all, I do have an extra shell, which apparently I don't get to keep, so might as well. Getting empty, yep. That's probably the one. We'll go there. See where we can land. Honestly, not bad. Alright, good. Yep, yep. Priority target, enemy hospital destroyed. Alright. So, signal the war horn, I guess. Signal received. Commence assault. Approach successfully cleared. Allied infantry advancing on Valle de Muela. Primary objective complete. You may stand down. Optional. Remaining enemy elements in the town are no longer a required target. It's authorized operator discretion. Lord Steel. I mean, realistically, there's not a whole lot, you know? There might be some more down here that I didn't scout, but I think we're good. I haven't had to reposition myself yet. But that was pretty decent. Rebel relief derailed. Foreign crates found on traitor's train. Quartermasters inventorying the derailed train discovered several crates stamped Fabrique in France. A discovery officials described as unsurprising since republics lack a crown to answer to will arm anyone at all. This is what officer explained. A king answers to God and history. A republic answers to whichever committee shouted the loudest this morning. Railway experts report that supplies are significantly less likely to reach the anti-monarchists after the railway itself has ceased to exist. His Majesty the King congratulated the General and Army on their continued transportation reforms, describing them as an investment in a brighter future for all loyal Castilians, present and future. Scientists unveil mechanical bull for safe festivals, injures 12 instantly. A new steam-driven bull designed to modernize traditional festivities debuted in Salamanca to roaring applause and immediate evacuation. Officials called the incident a resounding success and kinetic enthusiasm. The project will continue pending repairs to both bull and plaza. Insurance, however, revised terms covers fire, flood, and sudden relocation. Does not cover unspecified impacts. Help wanted. Ironworkers immediate. Previous staff liquidated. Apply at once. Tools still worn. Services rubble sorting. We separate brick, bone, and belongings. Respectful and efficient. Graders are temporary. Steel's permanent. Walk around them proudly. All clear. Intercept the Iron Road. Minimal add casualties. Sustaining consecutive kills across successive fire missions. Achieved a high kills per shot ratio across a minimum of 10 enemy kills. Destroyed a significant number of targets without requisitioning any aerial reconnaissance. Position report. Local logistics convoy report. Positional intel. Emergency move. Immediately reposition to an unknown location. Pause CBT. I'm trying to read this tiny ass text here. Smoke shell. Okay. Alright. Siege of Cartagena. Sin remains encircled. Its breakout stalled by concealed coastal batteries. Command of the operations passes to Vice Admiral Mendoza. Alright. Not bad, not bad. So these are just challenges. So this is the campaign. I assume then probably like afterwards it continues over here or something, or up here. I assume, because otherwise this would look like to be the end of the fucking campaign because we've reached the sea, but yeah. Alright. I think that's probably where I'm going to call it. Quit to main menu. All current mission progress will be lost. That's fine, because I'm between missions. Right? Yes, okay. Perfect. Alright. Tiny big shell, yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh. God. Ooh. I am still paying off my sleep debt from watching the International. Seriously, one of the days was 16 hours of Dota. That was too much Dota. So much Dota. Nonetheless, thank you everyone across YouTube and Twitch for watching today. We'll be returning, of course, to streaming on YouTube, hopefully, on a regular basis as well, alongside the Twitch streams. Alright. Thank you everyone for watching. I have been your Kelvin, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.